All right, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Meteorologist Jordan Aaronsberg here. I hope everyone's enjoyed their Sunday night. We're going to interrupt your little AFC Championship game viewing because no one really cares about the Bills or the Chiefs anyway. And we're going to talk a little bit more about your forecast, which does include increasing rain chances for each of the next week. So let's go ahead and we're going to go ahead and break it all down, and I'm going to take it over to the wall, and we are going to have all of the latest for you right here, right now, in case you missed our newscast. And we're going to start with a nice live look from our Kalahari Resorts and Conventions weather camera in Round Rock. Flags still at half-mast as we honor the memory of the former President Jimmy Carter. But as we take a look, seeing those lights kind of illuminate that low cloud cover there. So that goes to show you that we've been cloudy all day, and that's going to continue on through this evening and through most of the day tomorrow. Right now, we're looking at temperatures mainly in those lower 50s, that northerly breeze, meaning that that weak front has made its way through central Texas. But as we take a look at our satellite and radar, just a few light showers. I don't think a lot of that's actually reaching the ground over portions of the coastal plains. Hill country, y'all are still being left high and dry. And as we take a look, as we expand things here, much of the boot in Louisiana seeing quite a bit of that heavier rainfall. Also places like Jackson, Mississippi, up toward the Mississippi Delta, those areas are seeing some of that heavier rainfall as well. But as we take a look at your allergens being down are a bit of a plus side to this rain, including oak being in the low. We did see traces of that today, as well as cedar checking in the low. And then we've got other trees like willow and cottonwood that have checked in, and they're also in the low. But mold is still elevated, including elevated levels of alternaria. So if you're having issues with that, you want to make sure that you have your allergy medicine handy. And you can find this allergy count each and every day on kview.com as well as the KView app. Now, as we continue to go hour by hour here, we are looking at maybe a few light isolated showers here and there. I have it at around a 10 to 20% chance, but I'm not really counting on it that much because we do have some dry air coming in behind that front. But by the time we get to your Monday at 4 o'clock, we do get to those low to mid 50s, kind of like where we are for today. And we're not going to have much change over these next 24 hours, not even with the highs or the lows, even though we are going to start off in those lower 40s. But then we're going to get some southerly flow coming in. And by the time we get to your Wednesday and then eventually your Friday, we are going to warm up quite nicely. Look at these highs, though. Thursday and Friday, 71 apiece. They just feel absolutely grand. But there is a catch. And it is that we have a potent upper level low. It's going to track a little bit off to our north. It's going to suck in some of that Gulf moisture. And that's where we get the good chances of some of that heavier rainfall moving through central Texas. And then by the time we get to late Thursday evening, early Friday morning, everything should be out of here. And we do fully expect for us to be mostly dry beyond that. Now, the latest model data from the GFS is in, and it's looking like it's a bit of a Debbie Downer for us here locally, folks. I'm not going to even lie to you on that. Looking at around 1 inch to 1.5 inches widespread. I'm still counting on this European model, though. I'm still rooting for this European model. It's been moving in the direction of the GFS. However, I'm still thinking around 1 to maybe 3 inches, and I do think some of that heavier rain band will be still slightly westward. So I really think those highland lakes are going to get some good drinks of water here. However, the drought situation is going to be improved, especially if we get some of that heavier rain in the I-35 corridor. Now, the heaviest rain could cause a little bit of a minor flooding concern as well, and the GFS doesn't really have much of that because we're only looking at around 1 inch and 1.5 inches. But if we get more than a couple of inches, then we start thinking about the potential for that flooding concern. Now, as far as time already served is concerned in terms of rain showers, so to speak, we've only had a few hundredths of an inch over the past 24 hours according to these LCRA gauges. So we're not really seeing a whole lot in terms of that heavier rainfall, and not even in sections of the coastal plains at all. So we're mainly looking at around 1/4 inch of rain tops over these past 24 hours because these were really light showers that we had for yesterday and earlier this morning. Now, we do have a 40% chance for your Wednesday, 80% chance of storms for your Thursday. That's mainly going to be later on Thursday into early on Friday. Things push out Friday afternoon. And then look at the weekend. This is lay out in your bikini type weather, folks. Saturday and Sunday, looking at temperatures getting to the mid to upper 70s both days. Has to feel absolutely glorious if you are planning on being outside next weekend. Gonna have to get through this very active pattern first, so definitely something we're gonna want to continue to watch, and we are gonna watch this as we head throughout the course of this upcoming next few days. So let's take a look outside. We are looking once again at the Kalahari Resorts and Conventions weather camera in Round Rock. Let's see what other cameras that we have that can show a little bit more of that cloud cover. Let's see what downtown's looking like right by the state capitol. Not really much to see from that particular angle, but let's take a look right on top of our studio, and you still see a little bit of that cloud cover there. And a lot of that does have to do with a lot of that shower activity. Still a little damp across much of central Texas. So we're going to continue to watch it and continue to watch that very, very closely, because we could have a little bit of radiational fog to start your Monday morning as well. So by and large, not really a whole lot going on with this throughout the course of the region. But as we head through portions of East Texas out in the Piney Woods, those areas saw good bits of rain as well. And we're going to see right now if we've got any comments here. I don't see any comments right now, but I just shared the video, of course. Not a lot of y'all on tonight, only 22 of y'all, so I'm going to take a moment and see if you guys have any questions for me as far as, you know, how much rain are we looking at? How much rain have we already gotten this weekend? Honestly, we have not gotten a whole lot, but we're going to continue to watch this very, very closely. There's only 22 of y'all watching right now, so not really much to really speak of. But what I will say is that we've got increasing storm chances coming up for Wednesday and then Thursday. And then early Friday, as that front moves in, it's a Pacific front, meaning we're not going to get much of a cool down. In fact, we're going to warm up quite nicely as we head into Saturday and Sunday. That's still 6 to 7 days out, so it may not even be that warm. It could be warmer, it could be cooler, but models are now certain that we're going to have a drying trend to start February. So there's good news on that particular front. But by and large, we're really looking at an active pattern for this upcoming week. And we really could use the rains, because I'm going to go ahead and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up our drought monitor here. And what I'm going to show y'all is that we do have some areas that really could use some of this rain. And that does include the Austin Metro, because we are in that extreme level of drought right here, smack dab in the Austin Metro, through portions of Hayes County and southeastern Travis, including the airport. Pflugerville kind of right on that line, so to speak. But you've also got places like North Austin out toward near Cedar Creek. And then we've got severe drought for most of the KVU area as well. So really, any real rain we could get, especially right here in the middle of the I-35 corridor, which is what the European model has, we cooking here, folks. And we're going to really be cooking as we head into most of next week. Now, most of the rest of us are going to be in a severe drought. So a lot of the areas that do see some of that heaviest rain next week are going to see drought improvements. But there's a key thing I want y'all to understand. So you're not going to really see those drought improvements on the drought monitor right away once that heaviest rain arrives for Thursday. And that is because the cutoff point for each week's drought monitor is Tuesday at 7 a.m. and the majority of the rain will not have arrived by then. So that is not going to count for this week's drought monitor coming up, but the following weeks to start February. So we're going to really see the results of that active pattern, not this coming week, but next week. And so let's see, anyone else saying anything? And it doesn't look like we have any questions or anything like that. So I'm going to take a moment and say thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to be back on KVU News at 10 with all the latest on your forecast. But now, back to that little chasing a pigskin for your enjoyment up in Kansas City that those folks are doing. And I hope y'all have a very good evening.